off. Like, I was really hoping to demo something this session, and now like a basic um, external like call isn't working anymore. It doesn't make sense. It used to work. Now it doesn't work. Like, no. Like,
Software, man.
it doesn't make sense. Like, are you looking at my screen?
Null reference exception, man.
No, look, this code has always worked since day one. And now all of a sudden it doesn't want to work when I decide that after like 4 months of next week, I'll do a demo. It's this always worked. Now it doesn't work.
Where's GPS? Oh, pulls from current get last known location async. Huh. You're not handling the null condition, man. Just gotta give like a
It's not supposed to return null at all. That's the whole point. Um,
yeah, I don't know why it would be.
I mean, all my permissions are the same. So if I collapse all you people and then go over here and then go to here and then go to here and then go to my manifest. Yeah, this crap used to work. They don't want me to finish this. That's what it is. Bastards. All right. Anyways, crap used to work, man, and now it just randomly doesn't work anymore. When I was hoping to demo this, how do I stop the screen share? You see me now? Check.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to demo this customer app in which, with all this Azure plumbing that I have on it, it receives messages uh, from the outside world. In reality, that outside world is going to be the courier app that's sending status updates or publishing status updates to my Azure function. My Azure function takes the payload of that status update, extracts the the end customer from it, puts together or assembles a new topic with that customer's ID as a suffix, and then publishes that message. The customer app is subscribed to those specific messages with the customer ID suffix for different or various statuses of the order fulfillment pipeline, and then it is able to receive a status update and then start triggering whatever events. That's what I wanted to demo. And now this crap.
Damn, man.
You know, hurricanes coming. F me, man. Like, anyways, like I'm upset, man, because it's like for the past 4 months I've been selling you excuses, and I really wanted to show something. So,
Well, no, I mean,
freaking
problems happen, man.
No, you need to get your code working, man.
It's the curse of the demo gods, man. It's every time you want to show a demo, it's like, oh, it's working 5 minutes ago. I did this 100 times, and as soon as the demo starts, poof, Murphy's Law.
It was working yesterday morning at this time. And then I moved on to my gainfully employed project, and now it doesn't want to work.
Murphy's Law. Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, been tired all week. Been a good week though. Okay.
Did you? I saw you were posting. Oh, is it wise to?
That was Friday. Yeah. It's been uphill from there, but yeah, I got some. From that, I got actually a lead for a position. So, and talk to them on Wednesday, and we'll see if that goes anywhere. But it seems like a kind of a fun project that they're working on. So, also decided like try to find a try to think about how I could get like involved more in the community or whatever, and maybe try to do some volunteer work or whatever. So I'm after this call at 8:30. I'm going to Central Time. I'm gonna call with the activities director at the local high school, and I'm gonna try to actually launch or see about setting up an esports program at the high school, so that when my kids get that age, if they are inclined to play esports, I hope that there's a program there that they could be able to play with. So hoping that turns into something. So yeah, I don't know. It's a good week otherwise. Feels like things are moving.
After school program for playing video games.
It's sport, man. it's very much a sport. Just like any other sport.
I'm looking at the history of my main activity, that CS file. Last time I edited it was in June. Yeah, so I didn't mess up the ordering of initializations. Why don't you work? So this, this sucks so bad. Like, am I? And even if I run in a disconnected mode, like, there's nothing to demo because the whole point was to demo like integration details, right? Um, so I'm adjusting course, and here's a question. And no one answered my question when I posted it a couple of days ago. Do app stores can app stores generate different URLs for the same app such that those unique URLs that are all mapped to the same app can be processed such that the various features can be enabled or disabled given that particular URL? So what I mean by that is, let's say I just want to publish one app. And let's say that app can be a food delivery app. It could be a cannabis delivery app. It could be a dry cleaners delivery app. Doesn't matter. It's the same infrastructure. It's the same. It's the same everything. The only difference is the theme of it. And so someone clicks a link to download the app. At launch of the app on their device, it has a reference to the reference string, or the href link, or whatever you want to call it, and based on that particular link, it will enable or disable features, or it'll pull in specific profiles. So same link or different links to the same app, but the difference is it'll load in the theme for cannabis delivery. It'll load in the theme for beach delivery for food or whatever.
I'd have to assume it's possible. The reason being is that for browsers, you can put links on your phone to specific pages, I believe, shortcuts.
That's deep link though, right?
Yeah, well, sort of, right? It knows that, when you click it, that this particular app handles this particular type of call, and it opens it, and then it takes the parameters in and does what it's going to do with them. I haven't tried it with anything but web browsers, but I'm assuming that you could. I don't know if you could have that from the download experience. It would have to be something like I'd assume that it would have to be something like you download the app, you you connect up, you find the thing you want, and then you create a shortcut to that particular thing on your as a thing in your phone. If you actually need the multi-tenancy, anyways. But otherwise, I'm guessing if you wanted unique identities for each one, you'd have to have them. You'd have to have different apps.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like having multiple Android projects in my solution, and they just reference all the same projects. The only difference is that Android project or the iOS project is going to be of a specific product theme or app product, but everything else is the same, which means then I have to maintain a whole bunch of different multiple apps in the app store that are all running off the same code. Like that's kind of what I wanted to avoid is have an app in the app store, one app, and depending on the download link, it loads in a specific profile instead of me managing really the same application, but because it's a different theme, I have to create separate apps. Like,
Yeah, like I said, unless you build the multi-tenancy right into the app itself, like it has its own kind of not app store, but like tenancy situation. So like I'm thinking, um, when I launch the hospital that I have has a web app that I think is run by Epic, but you launch it and you go to Essentia's, which is the health system here. You go to their particular instance of the app, but I don't think it was. I don't know if I downloaded that app. Yeah, I definitely didn't download the app as an Essentials app. It was more broad than that. Let me look here. My chart is what it's called by Epic. So like you launch my chart, but it's definitely like you have a set organization that you're tied in with then with it.
yeah.
So I mean, I could see you doing something like that where you download your app and then you through interacting with the app actually have it set up with a particular or multiple tenants in it, and then it's just you have one or more selected on launch by default, and then you have a switcher to swap between them, or maybe the link that you come in on has got it figured out.
Okay.
Just trying to think if you can. Yeah, so like browsers, you could. There's an option to add to home screen, and I think then I'm guessing that it just shows up somewheres here. Maybe not. I figured that would put an ad, like a link to it on your in your like icons or whatever. Oh yeah, it did. So you can see like I just put a one to Facebook for Chrome or on Chrome there, so it just puts a link right on there. So you could have it where you create a home link for each tenant that you have in the app. That would work. It's not going to be probably as smooth or the exact experience you want, but it would probably be doable or like good. I mean, in theory, then if you had a marketplace on it too, you could take the person's location and show them all the possible types of things within their location that are available. So your dry cleaning, your
I missed the part.
whatever.
It's still like just one link for the App Store, though, right?
Sort of, yeah.
And you're saying, how do I somehow take the same link and am able to decipher different profiles that the customer is interested in?
Yeah, so you'd have a link for your main application always. Like this is the delivery service app, whatever. And that's just your generic, service app. But when you get in it, then you have like an interface to kind of pick which
Oh, yeah.
actual tenant you want. But then you can create from there, like I said, assuming that you have the same capability as what the browser does, you could create a shortcut to that specific profile in their homepage or whatever, on their desktop, for the lack of a better term.
Yeah, I had a discussion about that yesterday with like two people, and they said no. They said a customer, like, it kind of went down to marketing. Like, it's, it may be kind of like awkward to pass out flyers for downloading an app that says cannabis and restaurants for mobile delivery. They were saying that it's better just to have two separate apps, um, so that when your marketing is focused on the individual like customer audience or whatever. And so, yeah, I was like, oh, I'll just have them pick which, kind of like what you were saying or suggesting. I'll
Yeah.
just have them pick, if they are interested in shopping for cannabis to have that delivered, or Denny's. And two out of two people said no. So
Well, I mean, you should be able to have the app like via some sort of code or something like that. Like you could hand out a flyer just for
or a promo code.
restaurants or
I
whatever,
think, yeah, you know what? I think you're
and then
right. I
you
think apps
activate
have
it.
promo codes.
Yeah, yeah. You could either use promo codes, or they do. Don't they also have plugins like that you can have? But anyways, like you could activate just the particular tenant that you want based on the flyer. So it's like download delivery app and then enter in code 456, and that will bring you to our specific organization's, not code, but you could have it like Denny's FLA or whatever, and or Denny's dash Miami or something, or food dash Miami, or I don't know. Like I can imagine a lot of ways that this could work, where you have essentially a multi-tenant app, and then you find ways to activate a particular tenant, uh, based on what information they're getting or how they're getting to it.
Yeah, I'll look into the promo code. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they offer that. Um, I got the app launched. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I commented out get last known location and just did get position. You would think get last known location would do okay if there's not a cache location, then get position, and that's what it used to do, but it stopped. So, all right. So now what? I thought I had all my services. I'm gonna look, two of these are native to my machine. Everything else are Azure function solutions, and so
Good thing you bought that beefy laptop to have that many solutions open.
yeah, and running a video conference. Um, let's see if this crashes. So then, all right. So now, when I say order, it's going to. I have a feeling this is going to crash. So now, when I say order, it sooner or later is going to hit my server and check for couriers that are subscribed. All right, and eventually it'll time out if it can't find any couriers. And in in production, if it can't find any subscribed couriers, then it's going to send out some Twilio messages for for couriers that were once in that area within 3 miles, and it'll send them a text message with a deep link to this app. They click on the deep link uh, based on the commission that the text message says, and if they're interested, they click on the deep link. They get. I'm talking about the courier app now. This is the customer app, and they'll accept or decline the order. If they accept it, then this gets updated with you know found courier and whatever the courier's name is. So to simulate that, I have uh, this right here, right? Published courier accepted to service bus. All right. So you, my friend, you should just work when I just hit run. And we go back over here, and I'm gonna have a meltdown if it doesn't work.
Don't. Why did it take so long to reach that other page? Got to put a spinner or something in there.
So now it found Jeremy bot. He arrives in 30 minutes. Um, that's interesting. If I, oh, okay. So I need to work on my centering, but this is a customer with the beach umbrella. This is my artwork, and this is the
Did you make that
beach
yourself?
bites.
Yeah.
No, I took it from like Font Awesome or one of those things, and then I just started changing the color or whatever.
Oh.
Uh, this one I made the BB one for Beach Bites or Beach whatever. I was
Beach
thinking about
body
calling
by.
it. I was thinking about calling it Beach Bites, but I don't know if Beach Delivery is not taken. Maybe I'll just call it BD. Whatever. All right. So Jeremy Bot has accepted the order. His ETA is 30 minutes, right? Estimated time of arrival. Now, then he accepted. Then I want to simulate and arrived at the pickup location. Right. So this one right here, I execute that script, aka test, and so then it publishes a message to my Azure Service Bus. Azure Service Bus takes that message, extracts out the customer information, and then generates a new message for the customer app to receive. God damn it! Come on, dude. Yeah, you know what? Get you off too. All right. So now Jeremy Bot arrived at some restaurant name. Okay. Um, Now theoretically, I should be able then to go to en route, send that message when they purchase whatever items at the pickup. Then I should maybe make sure en route to drop off. I should be able to run this. I'm not sure if I'll get any more breakpoints. I think I cleared everything. It should work. I still get breakpoints everywhere because it's different Azure functions. Okay, this is good. So your order has been picked up. I need to update the lower one en route to your location. Uh, what I didn't test is the arrived at drop off, which is this one right here. I'm not sure if this was going to work because I never tested it. Well, it looks like this one works. So your order has arrived. Please make yourself visible. Yay. Um, Now, the last one, which I also have been tested, is there a delivered test on here? No, I don't see a test for that. Arrived at pickup, accepted. So let me try to create one on the fly and see if it works. Is copy paste this right here and throw you in here, and then uh, I don't know what I call this. Give me a second. Uh, it's something topics function or something like that. And over here, dropped off is the name of it. Okay. So over here, my friend, I call you dropped off, and what do I need to indent this back some? Are you over here? Are you happy? Yeah, he's happy. All right. So then, hold up, and throw you over here, and just want to see if this is actually going to transition this page to the receipt page of the app. And so, which means I probably got to build this for this test to be visible in the test explorer. You, my friend, I throw you over here, and so now it's over here, and I have a feeling it's not going to work because I don't even know if I even put in the plumbing for dropped off. We'll see, whatever. So I'll run. And I'll go over here. I have a feeling that I didn't put in the code for that yet. And that's the Azure function. I don't know. IDK. Yeah. So what is this over here? That's the event log. Yeah. So I got some data structures that aren't paired together or don't maintain parity. But that's progress. 4 months later, after I said I was going to have it done. Let me go back. So stop sharing. Are you still awake?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
uh,
Celebrate, man.
I in addition to that, how you say this person's name? Thandol Wechu what Thon in the dictionary when they show you how to enunciate or pronounce, what is that called?
I don't know.
Is it just called
Dictate,
enunciation? When they spell it differently with hyphens?
enunciate, or yeah, I'm guessing it's enunciate.
Oh,
Thanduwethu Sithole.
uh, he's no longer observing,
Oh.
so I don't have to answer his question. Um, Yesterday I tried to recruit a sales guy. He's another entrepreneur that has or had his own cleaning business. So he used to like black suit and tie and hit door to door, going to different offices, trying to sell them accounts or trying to obtain accounts for cleaning. And he has his own like cleaning team. So I was trying to talk him. I was trying to see if he would be interested in doing the same thing, but hitting up cannabis dispensaries and mom and pop restaurants. He said he was interested, but everybody says they're interested, and then when it comes to them actually demonstrating their interest, then like nothing happens. So I know I'm being pessimistic, but I'm just so used to people being nice to me and then not really following through. So, you have any recommendations?
I don't know. Not really. I think
Yeah.
that's just the nature of it. You have to find someone who's really motivated and doing it already.
Because it's really
find a college MBA kid
well. The
when they
thing
want to change
is
the world. There's a lot of time on their hands.
yeah. The thing is like I don't have any money to pay, so it means I'm
Yeah.
looking for a partner, right? So while I'm doing the tech and doing bug fixes and adding new features and trying to grow the platform, Like they need to be getting accounts and managing everything that is people related. And so then the question is, well, okay, well, I've been building this for what, almost a year and a half or something. So if I'm partnering with them, then, and let's say that it does gain traction, people do download it, I am getting, consistent income every day, even if it's like $50 or $100, whatever, starting off for the first 3 months. Well, what should be their share if it's a partnership where I'm doing the tech and they're doing the accounts? What would you think?
I don't know. Um, I guess it depends on how much you want to give away. Uh, I mean, if it's a peer partnership, I mean, it's good probably to not have a 50-50 relationship because otherwise you don't have tiebreakers. But
Yeah.
I don't,
Well, it won't be 50-50 only because I've been doing this for a year and a half. So I already put in the equity.
yeah,
But
although he might have to put in a year, or she might have to put in a year's worth of year and a half of equity just to sell it too. So
yeah,
um,
no one's going to do that without getting paid a base pay, right?
it depends on how much they believe in it and what kind of runway they have and stuff like that. You could, I don't know about. You could try posting, looking for a co-founder on, I think like this Angel List or whatever. I've seen posts like that where it's no pay, equity only type positions. I don't know if they get responses or whatever.
Yeah.
But you could also look at trying to just connect with a like an incubator or something like that, or look for funding. Be like,
Yeah.
I've got some tech build up here, and I think it's good, but I need some funding so I can pay a salesperson or a business person to take it and actually get it working and see if they can believe in what you got. So
Yeah. That's a thought. My thought process was, all right, so there would be like revenue from both customer and seller. Um, and so like for the cannabis subscription, I was I think I would do it tiered, meaning the more money that they make or the more transactions that they have on my platform, the more money I make. So like maybe it'll be like $15 base for a subscription, and that's less than 20 transactions on the app. And then, for if it exceeds like 50 transactions, then instead of $15, it's like, I don't know, $35. And then it just keeps going up. The more transactions that they have, um, the the higher their subscription is. But the more money they make, the higher the subscription is. So I was thinking about like doing a tiered model for the cannabis, and probably something similar for the mom and pops restaurants. Restaurant, yeah. Thoughts? And,
um,
oh yeah,
no
yeah. The
idea.
reason why I say all this is because I would incentivize the sales dude that he would get like a substantial amount, at least maybe for the first 12 months of those subscription dues in order to incentivize them and get them to be motivated.
Yeah, I know that other food delivery and stuff, they have like they tend to actually have a commission that comes out of the restaurant's share of things. So is that what you're talking about doing then?
What I'm, yeah,
Like the
what I'm trying
profit
to,
share?
the thought process is I'm trying to incentivize someone to sell, to get accounts for me for businesses, right? So there's a small fraction of money that I would make off of the actual customer. The majority of it would go to the courier, right? But on the other side, when it comes to driving traffic to individual businesses, that's a separate channel of income or revenue via subscription service for the app. And I would have to build another app for them to upload and maintain their menus, right? And so I was saying that to try to incentivize someone to partner with me, in which they would handle like the sales and get accounts, that I would give them a substantial percentage, at least for maybe the first 6 months, 12 months, probably 12 months of of the subscriptions that they are able to um, incubate, whatever you want to call it. And I would think that would be a motivated factor. So like the more transactions any of those accounts make, the more money that person makes. Because right now, like one is I'll be surprised if people download the app consistently and buy. But if I do get traction, the goal like within 24 months is to go hard until there's talks about acquisition, and then just move on. Right. So I'm more focused on getting uh, end customers and getting um, and getting the sellers on the platform than anything else.
Yeah,
I care more about that for the first 12 months than I care about actually making money. As long as I break even on expenses, like I don't really care about making hella money the first 12 months. I want to I want to have a foothold in this niche so that people can start asking me questions on, you know, if I'm interested in selling that to whoever.
sure, sure. I don't know if that would be. I don't know if that would be uh, motivating to a seller or not. I think equity would probably be more, because in any, I think anybody who's willing to take a very small amount of money is looking at a possible major payout. Is what they're hoping for, um, and that can be a motivating factor for people who have the runway and stuff like that. Obviously, you know, like I could never be in that position or couldn't be in that position because of like a family and everything to account for. But so I'm saying like finding college age people who are entrepreneurial and want to jump on board, who've got a runway, maybe some parents to support them or something like that might be a direction you could take it. But I mean, you could also, like I said, you could look at potential funding too. Um, you know, especially, be, I mean, because you've got possibility at minority funding and all of that stuff too. People want to invest in black owned businesses right now. So I don't
Yeah.
know why. Well, especially with with everything that's been going down in the world lately. Yeah, I mean it's a fairly significant push to support, especially black-owned tech businesses. There's definitely gaps there, and one that I think you might be able to find funding in. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying it's worth a look at that kind of a deal.
I want to go to an Indian reservation and recruit a Native American to do sales so that I can increase the probability of people wanting to invest in minority tech. I think that would work. I thought that was funny. Anyways,
Yeah. Well, anyways, I'm just saying it's a thing, and you could probably, I don't know. Another thing you could do is just like I'm probably not the best person to ask about this stuff, but find an entrepreneur that has done stuff like this and ask them what your next step should be, and then just go execute on it.
yeah,
I'm sure they probably would have said, do all of this stuff before you started building it, but you also had other benefiting factors for building it trying to become an Azure architect or whatever.
Yeah, I'm giving up on that. No one cares. Recruiters don't know. Recruiters don't know anything. HR doesn't know anything. It's whoever can game the system of the 500-year-old resume, right? Like they don't know what they're looking for. Like it's obvious they don't know what they're looking for. Hey, do you have Azure experience?
Yes.
Like, and if you start like asking them specifically which part of Azure, they don't know. They're just signing off. They're checking off, right?
Well,
So
yeah, just be
I'm done.
okay with checking it off, man. Just play the game.
I guess so.
I'm actually interested to see. I put in an application this week with a company that I contracted with a few years ago, and when I jumped to the current job I'm on, it was funny that the CEO of it had just contacted me like a week too late and was like, "You should come and join what we're doing here. We really need a good developer on this stuff, and I know you're good because we worked with you on the initial leg of it." Um, so now, 4 years later, I'm they had a position open up this week, so I applied for it. I'm curious to see if like there's any sort of connection or if I get through any sort of screening type system to get in there, or if I just get an immediate no thanks. But I don't want to even think about name dropping because I don't have that much equity with them. But it's it's just kind of an interesting. I'm interested to see how having approaching this from like a cold standpoint comes out, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
How I, I think you told me like a couple weeks ago you were taking a test or something, right? For one job, or you doing a pet project for one job, or am I confusing you with somebody else?
No, I did a couple of those, and that one didn't really turn out. Um,
Or
I
you
don't know why, but uh,
they never gave you feedback?
they just said we're moving on, or we've gone with other people or whatever. So I guess I could have asked specifically if it was something about the project or if maybe they had filled the position or what. Another one I got good feedback on Hacker Rank for it, but the position they were looking at was more front end heavy, and they needed somebody who's really good with React, and I've only done Vue, and really C# is kind of my bread and butter at this point in terms of what I'm good at or what I know well. So, um, not to say I can't do JavaScript. It's just they're looking for somebody who's already had a lot of experience with React. So,
So I well, can you see yourself still working or still taking other people's tests and doing sample projects, or have you learned your lesson?
no, I can. I see myself doing them. I don't have any problem with it.
I do.
The it's the thing is too is it's an opportunity to think more. Some of them, if they're like technical challenges where they're actually challenges, I mean, it's kind of fun to do brain teasers. Like I do brain teasers for fun. So
Not when you already have a passion project that you're trying to commit to. And so that's the thing with me is like, all right, I need to make progress on what I'm doing because I feel like I started off doing 2 hours a day, right, and now I'm down to like 1 hour a day if I'm lucky. And so like they want me, oh, you need to take our tests, assessment tests, or you need to do a weekend project. I'm like, no, like no, like, you're not part of the big five. I'm not going to try out for your job. You're irrelevant. I'm not doing it, man. If you're part of the big five, then I'll probably consider it. You're not part of the big five, so why am I going to go out my way to write code that I can't reuse again for you? Good Google my name. You'll see the first 3 pages is all professional. You see code and videos. Like, no, fucking meet me halfway. You think I'm cranky?
Nah. You're back in Miami. I like subdued Canadian Scott. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm only here temporarily. I'll be back in Canada soon.
If you can get back in.
I should be able to.
I saw an article this morning that British Columbian authorities are cracking down on Americans passing through to get to Alaska.
Oh, they claim they're going to Alaska, and then they just
No, they're going to Alaska, but
why are they cracking down then?
because it's border crossing from the U.S. So
No, I think they're well. You may be right, but I think more than likely they claim that they're going to Alaska and they're just hanging out in Canada.
yeah, could be.
Alaska is far. Like, who drives to Alaska? Even if you live in like Oregon, whatever it's called.
It's just you just take I believe it's just a highway type thing. Like
Alaska is far, dude. Like, let me try to Google map it. Alaska is far. Even if you're coming from like, we'll assume Oregon or
Seattle.
well, Seattle's under or Washington. How does that work? I don't even know the West Coast.
It is it is pretty long.
No one's driving.
42-hour drive.
Yeah, no one's driving there. So like my suspicion is they claim, yeah, we're just going to Alaska, because we're American. We're just visiting another state. Nah, they hanging out in Vancouver.
No, people do make that though. I mean, they drive it, but it's
Do they have RVs?
Probably, or they sightsee along the way. Like it's
people that have RVs have a high likelihood of doing that, but you ain't gonna see someone in a Toyota Camry driving to Alaska. I don't know. I think it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, 42 hours. Wow. You could make it in 2 days then, just driving straight.
Vancouver Island looks pretty big. Is Vancouver in Vancouver Island? I didn't even know there was a Vancouver Island. I want to go there. Man. That looks cool.
I know that there's like, if you look at I believe that there's actually like, if you look at this is at Point Roberts on the tip of like Vancouver or something like that. It's in the U.S. side of things. I think I watched something on this, like every day they have to border cross to go around to get to school or something like that for people who live there.
I lived 40 minutes outside of Seattle. I wasn't a fan. Then again, I didn't really give Seattle a chance. It definitely feels different. I want to check out Vancouver. I heard they have like their own version of Skid Row that's like pretty bad. I mean, that's not the reason why I want to check it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like Asian cities, man.
You like what cities?
Asian cities.
Oh, Asian cities? Is that an Asian city?
I thought Vancouver has a heavy Asian population.
I don't know. I'm guessing. I mean, it's probably more than the Midwest. West Coast tends to have it. So
I wish I could swap out the Latin people for Asians here in Miami. I think quality of life would be a lot better. Have all this cosmetic surgery and it's ridiculous down here how westernized Miami is. I think I'm gonna move to Toronto, man. I like it.
Even in the wintertime?
No.
That's what you do. So you live in Toronto, but you vacation somewhere warm for 6 months out of the year.
Have you been outside the continent? I think I asked you this before.
Of North America? No.
Well, you got a family now, so or you probably have no desire to travel internationally.
Yeah, I mean, there's some places I'd like to go maybe one day, but it's like I don't have a huge urge to go and see the world, I guess, in
I,
terms of.
I could see you being in Hawaii.
Yeah, yeah, and I've been to Alaska. Alaska's really nice. I really like Alaska. But I mean, I'm visiting like Ireland or actually Poland um, is something I'm kind of interested in.
All right, so
But
there's two countries that they speak English, but I have no clue what they say. Right? One 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 is Jamaicans. When I'm in Jamaica, they speak English. I don't know what they're saying. The other one is Scotland. Like I can't understand Scottish people. Like I just remember trying to have a conversation in Cancun with this Scottish uh, lady, and I know she was speaking English, but I could not understand what she was saying.
yeah, they got thick accents, so or they can have thick accents.
I'm sure Ireland is probably the same. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's a little better, but yeah, I mean, I've heard Scottish dialect or people talking with that accent in a thick, heavy, and they got idioms we don't understand. So you know, um,
Because Amish people, those are the actual definitions of Anglo Saxons, right? Don't aren't they like pretty much German?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think they're German
Amish.
Americans. I think Anglo Saxon is of German descent in the United States.
Well, Anglo-Saxon isn't. I don't believe that's German.
I,
So
I
it's
think it is.
Anglo and Saxons were from Norway or Denmark or something like that,
No, I think it's German.
and they came over to the UK and conquered the UK. So if you're from the UK, you're Anglo-Saxon usually.
Well, you sound confident,
I'm
but
fairly
no,
certain.
I was right. I know everything. Like I'm almost
Man,
Google relating to or denoting the Germanic
Germanic
inhabitants. I don't know how to say that
of
word.
England, but
Germanic inhabitants of England.
yeah, but
Oh,
Germanic
okay. England.
is Germanic is a huge area because like if you look at what Hitler was trying to do, what he wanted to do was to reunite the Germanic, what was essentially the Holy Roman Empire, the Germanic countries, which are like basically Germany, Austria, Hungary, Czech, Norway, Sweden, that whole segment that's outside of France, but not Turkey or and I think not really even Russia. So, but
He invaded Russia. He was trying to do it.
yeah, he was trying to conquer everything at some point, even the UK and
He was
France, Spain. But he originally started off trying to just like his his yeah his explanation for like invading Poland and trying to take over these countries around him was because they were Germanic and he was trying to reunite the Germanic countries. But I don't know. That's just I believe a statement of fact. It's not a
he was
no.
pretty much the white version of Xerxes.
Yeah, probably.
You know Xerxes reference.
Yeah, only from 300. Yeah,
Yeah,
just trying to create the Persian Empire or something.
yeah.
Yeah, it's actually what's kind of interesting is that Poland and Lithuania had a huge empire prior to like where you actually start learning about European history. Like they actually occupied Moscow and had a huge swath of that western part of Europe. But and then they became the punching bag of Europe ever after about 1500, after their last big contribution to Western history.
How do you know this?
Because I don't know, it's interesting. So like the king of Poland, John Sobieski III, during like I don't remember, it was the 1400 or 1500 or whatever. The Turks were essentially invading. The Ottoman Empire was invading Europe, and they had made it to Vienna, I think. And the Polish army rode down, and they had these huskers who were like these winged horse riding people, and they came down and basically fought off the Ottoman Empire at Vienna, which stopped the Ottoman conquer invasion of Europe, and basically stopped it from all being owned by Turkey, or the Ottoman Empire.
I couldn't imagine going to war more than 300 years ago, like, because it's automatic you get maimed. Like, there's no like, oh, I caught a couple shells in my shoulder. Right, get that sewed up. Nah, like, you lose an arm, your skull gets like split in half. Like, they freaking use swords, man.
Yeah,
Like, you imagine like hand to hand contact with swords.
man, I don't know. I
Like, I'm
couldn't
like,
imagine it.
and then even if you play dead, they'll just walk around just jabbing people with the swords, make sure that they are dead. I couldn't do it, man. I mean, I probably could if like my village was threatened with slavery or whatever. But man, I'll have to innovate, man,
Yeah,
or just move.
yeah, I couldn't imagine it. Ugh. I guess we can be all happy we don't live in those times anymore. Although, it would have sucked at the first start of the World War. I think World War One too. A lot of the, people had been fighting a certain way for years at that point, and then suddenly,
Tanks.
Germany brings in the machine gun, and I think there was this event where like France or somebody decided to just march in to attack, and they did their normal, not guerrilla style warfare. They did a marching type
American
thing.
Civil War type.
Yeah, and Germany just sat and mowed them down,
Rolled them over.
with
It's
these
the
machine
same.
guns.
Yeah, I'm sure
Nuts.
it's the same thing where they were probably just setting up barbed wire, uh, so it's to make it harder as a barrier for soldiers to pass through, and then they just saw mechanized tanks just roll through it. It
Yeah,
was a lot of crap, man. It was poison gas that was used
yeah,
until the wind blew in the other direction. Like, it was a lot of. You think about how quickly we evolved within just the past. I honestly say just within the past 200 years, man. It's mind blowing.
yeah. Just in terms of technology and stuff, yeah, it's nuts. A lot of it was driven by war, I suppose, but
Oh, I would say I think facts are facts, right? Like, I think the main drivers of today's modern area or of today's
era.
modern era are Asians and Europeans that pretty much, because I mean everybody else like continental Africa, I would probably argue the Middle East, even though I think they invented like algebra or whatever. Obviously, all the islands, North America, South America. Like, I don't think any of them had like philosophers that just their whole job was just to think.
Oh no, the Middle East did though. Like the Arab nations were extremely advanced, um, and stuff. So I
Well,
believe
wait,
what
about
happened
like
is
Egypt and their construction methods and
no.
their
I'm talking about
mummification techniques.
so while essentially while Christian Europe was going through what like the Dark Ages, Middle Ages, that kind of stuff. Um, the empire, like Persian descendant type empire around Saudi Arabia and Iraq, and
Xerxes.
all the way over to like Spain and Morocco, like that all they had huge amounts of advancement and stuff. And I think was it Constantinople or whatever, Istanbul, it was something else, whatever, was kind of a bastion for uh, technology and philosophy and all of this kind of stuff.
I mean, you say that, but outside of and I'm not taking from it. The only thing I can
Yeah,
think of when it comes to like the the Middle East, or specifically like Egypt, is irrigation and scrolls.
No, I mean
Also,
they made advances
and
in
mummification.
no, there's all sorts of advances in mathematics and philosophy and stuff that came out of Europe, the Arab nations. The problem is that they essentially went into their own dark ages shortly after, and basically, and I don't know if it was because of Islam, or if what Islam had an effect, but essentially it became more of a militant version of Islam, and all of this kind of stuff was pushed aside for a long time, in the same way that it happened in Europe, because that happened in Christianity too until, was it the 1700s or something? I don't know, but yeah, it's really too bad that that they were at the pinnacle of civilization, and kind of retracted from there.
No.
But yeah, they're also, unlike, I guess the main thing is that Europe and Asia to an extent were, they colonized, and that that's what spread their influence around the world, is colonization. So, and why they're big.
This is true.
Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah, if you look at it, there's a lot of philosophy and stuff that came out of that region. And India's no nothing to gawk at either. They have a fair amount of philosophy that's come out of that region.
What, Kama
So,
Sutra? What?
well, yeah, but I mean, Buddhism and
That's India?
well, I think it's northern India is where it was, but it's kind of crossed obviously into
Oh, you're
the
talking about like
China,
Tibet
and
or something?
yeah, but I mean, it's yeah, Kama Sutra, but yoga and stuff like that have come out of there as well. A lot of healthy eating type stuff, and I don't know, and everyone's got something to contribute to that's why it's like kind of important that all these cultures are appreciated and kind of maintained, is because every single country's got its rough history and the problems that it has, but there's also really cool stuff that they've all done, and things that they figured out based on their geographic area and needs, that contribute to overall society. So
Humanity. Yeah.
yeah, it's really kind of cool when you think about it.
Well, I guess we'll close on that note.
Yeah.
So next week I'll demo the finalization of a delivery, and maybe the week after that I'll try to show something with the courier app having receipts or transaction history or something. I don't know, but that's it. How's your table?
Sitting in the pole barn,
There you
not
go.
doing anything.
All right. One last thing is it's probably me venting. I got 3 weeks to build a mobile app. Just rely on the wireframes, everything you need. And then yesterday, when I'm busy writing integration tests, because I got the whole user experience done, and I mocked out all the service calls to a test API. Like, all right, I don't know how to write this integration test. How do I extract this information from this server? Blah blah blah. Why are you trying to do that? Because that's what the wireframes have. Oh no, that's wrong. So now, like, I had 3 weeks to get something done, and now like the requirements are all changing now. I'm sure you've dealt with that before.
Not like that.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I've had things change out from it under me, but usually I'm asking those kinds of questions up front, and not really accepting, hey, just rely on the wireframes.
Well, the founder told me that all I need is in the wireframes, do it exactly, all right? And
Oh,
then
I suppose for the UI, but
the CTOs, why are you doing that? And I'm like, I was told to. So my workflow is skeleton UIs that that are able to do navigation without any logic, and then once I have that done, then I do binding, and I'm able to like with mock data demo a user experience as if it were connected, but it's not. It's just mocked out data. And then once I get that solidified, then I write my integration tests. And once all those integration tests get solidified, I extract that logic from the integration test and I plug it into a data gateway library. Then I reconnect the client app to the data gateway library, and then I'm done. That's my workflow. So like you were saying, well, I make sure all that stuff is figured out beforehand. But my methodology is like show value quickly as soon as possible, show my worth because everybody's visual. And then once you get into the nitty gritty, relying on the external like universe, then that's when, oh shoot, we didn't plan for that. So I kind of put that on them and not on me. What do you think?
that's a way to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Because I feel like if I do it the other way, it just takes longer, and then they start questioning like why they're paying. Well, I mean, they're not paying me that much anyway, but I just feel like it's it's better for me to demonstrate quick successes that are visual than to solve the hard problems that is going to take a while for me to demo successes on that aren't really as visual. So
well, there's. I'm assuming that you're not throwing everything out. I'm guessing is the UI, the mockups, all those kinds of things. That's probably all pretty static, though, right?
no, they're not. I mean, the UX navigation is the same, but a lot of information that they were hoping to expose to the user um, isn't what I've learned isn't going to be supported by the server. And so
Oh,
it just gets ripped out, and so it leaves me in the bind of okay, well, what am I supposed to do?
so there's a future state there that they're representing that isn't current state.
It's the vision resulted in the wireframes that I was told to follow, but the reality and the technical effort on the server side hasn't caught up.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, just start. Not rolling back, but just start shutting things off then, and
yeah,
so you get to where it's supposed to be, and then
okay,
you have all the code in place for when they do want to activate those features.
I guess so. So I'm gonna be struggling to figure out what to work on today. But
But see, that's the thing I hate the most about jobs is when you're in a situation where you've done all you can or most of what you can, and all that's left is like just stuff that if you did it, it would take like 5 minutes, and that's it. And like I want to be busy, is I just want to have like way too much work to do. That'd be great.
yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, well, it's been real. Thanks.
Yep.
Take
Have a good
care.
one.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
And broadcast.